This is hot day, 74 degrees. This is a really nice space. I'll show you. This is attic. The previous owner made kind of a playroom out of it. So we just put some toys in here. There's no AC, so it's a little bit hot, but still you get good privacy here. Right. I wanted to read you my thoughts again. The title for today's journal is Funeral. I find myself standing in the quiet of my own heart, clutching a single fragment of a story. It's a small, sharp piece, maybe a word that felt dismissive, or a moment where someone I expected to be mature simply wasn't. It isn't a grand tragedy, but I've been spent days, or even months, building an entire world around it. I hold this one piece, and I've convinced myself that I finally know the whole truth of who they are. But as I sit in this silence, I'm starting to see something else. I'm realizing that the fog of my own wounds is real. It's a thick line that I have to account for if I ever want to understand what's actually happening. I'm standing at a crossroads where it's hard to tell the difference between the reality of today and the shadows of every past hurt I've ever carried. I have to acknowledge where the other person ends and where my own old wounds begin. I'm realizing that I need to hold a funeral. I've been looking through a wish lens, a filter of the person I needed them to be. I wanted a mature presence, a loyal heart, a steady hand. But I see now, with a quiet sort of grief, that my disappointment was actually for an illusion. A version of them I carefully constructed in my mind, but who never truly lived in the real world. Where did this spring from? Why do I do this? Maybe I find myself constantly thirsting for someone I can finally, truly rely on. We look for that one person who will walk with us, encourage us, and hold us steady when the world gets loud. We aren't just looking for a friend. We are looking for a sanctuary in a human being. We try to carve out a source of life in someone else, hoping they'll be the well that never runs dry. But we eventually find out that they're just as thirsty as we are. No human being was ever designed to carry the weight of our ultimate security. This disappointment is a sound of that human well running dry. I have to bury the demand that they be my source because they're made of the same dust as I am. The sting of this disappointment starts to change when I look closely at what is actually hurting me. I'm realizing that sometimes certain words people say remain in me much longer than they should. They echo in the quiet space of my mind, taking root in places they were never meant to stay. I feel that heavy weight of disappointment when I realize a person's maturity isn't what it seemed to be. It's a hollow feeling, realizing the steady heart you thought you found is actually just as fragile and inconsistent as anyone else's. But as I sit in the quiet, I'm forced to ask, do I not do the same? I know what it's like to be inconsistent, to say things I regret or to fail when people are leaning on me. I know the exhaustion of living behind my own walls, terrified that if I'm truly seen, I won't be enough. Those things that irritate me in them are the very shadows I try to outrun in myself. We aren't that different. We are both just trying to survive our own fragility. Instead of standing over them like a judge, I'm reminded of the call to walk alongside one another, carry each other's burdens, and in this way, you will fulfill the law of Christ. If anyone thinks they are something when they are nothing, they deceive themselves. Galatians 6:2-3. I have to step down from the judge's seat and realize that we both standing at the same threshold, covered in the same dust. There is a strange, quiet freedom in admitting that neither of us is a strong one. We are both just desperately needing a grace we didn't earn. You might be replaying a specific phrase right now, something someone said that you just can't let go of. Or maybe you are grieving the fact that someone you looked up to turned out to be just human. Ask yourself, am I angry at who they are? Or am I angry that they aren't the version of them I invented? That version, the one who is perfectly mature and always says the right thing, has to die so that a real relationship can live. It's uncomfortable and it feels like losing a safety net, but it's the only way to move from managing someone to actually loving them. So I'm learning to navigate this fog not by solving the puzzle, but by making small silent shift in the dark. First is relinquishment. I'm laying the expected version of this person to rest. I'm surrendering who I wish they were so I can meet the human who is actually there. Second is self-examination. I look at my own hands. I remind my soul, I am the one who was met in the dirt. I am the one who was restored when I had no defense. Silence. I release the demand for a clear story. I tell the Father, I don't know the whole truth, and I don't know how much of this is just my own wound. I give you the piece of the puzzle, Lord. There's a profound, quiet freedom in this funeral. You're finally unburdened when you realize that your peace is no longer a hostage to someone else's growth. For so long, you've been waiting for the fog to clear, waiting for them to finally understand. But God's invitation is not to wait for a resolution. It is to enter into His restoration. You find strength when you stop asking a person made of dust to be your source of life. By anchoring your soul in God, the only one who is truly constant, you are released from the exhaustion of being the judge. He allows you the freedom to let others be limited and the grace to let yourself be fragile. In the presence of God, the sting of words fades because His voice is the one that defines you. As the scripture breathes into the silence of your heart, Psalm 103:14, for He knows how we are formed. He remembers that we are dust. Well, that one encourages me. Wait with God in the fog today. Do not demand light from the darkness. Simply lean into the presence of the Father who is already there. You don't have to solve the puzzle to be at rest. You only have to realize that you are not the one holding the world together. You are simply the beloved. And in His love, there is room for all of us to be broken and still be completely whole. You are home.